They say a town never truly disappears. Not the buildings, not the people. What fades first is the memory of what happened there and why no one speaks of it anymore. This story begins in a quiet valley surrounded by mountains that rise like the edges of a forgotten bowl. For decades, it was home to a small community of fewer than 400 people, a place where everyone knew everyone, and nothing extraordinary ever happened. Until one man built a machine that should not have been possible. His name was Elias Vargan, a self-taught engineer known for fixing radios, tractors, and anything that hummed, sparked, or refused to obey. People described him as gentle but restless, with the kind of mind that seemed forever distracted, as if he were in conversation with something nobody else could hear. One winter, Elias stopped repairing things for the town. He told neighbors he was working on something important. He didn't say what. Weeks passed, then months. Children whispered that strange lights glowed from beneath the cracks of his workshop door. Adults told them to stop imagining things, but even they noticed at night the valley began to hum, faintly, like a distant generator that no one could find. When Elias finally emerged, he looked exhausted but triumphant. He told the townspeople he had built a device that could unmake and remake information. Nobody understood what that meant, and he didn't explain. He only said he wanted to show them on Sunday, but Sunday never came. 3 days before the demonstration, a group of unmarked vehicles drove into the valley. Men and women stepped out wearing clothes too formal for a place this small, but by the next morning, Elias Vargan's workshop was sealed. By the morning after that, the workshop was gone entirely, not burned, not demolished, simply missing, like it had been lifted off the earth without leaving dust behind. The hum in the valley stopped that night, and the next day, the townspeople were told to evacuate for their safety. What happened afterward is where the story shifts from the strange to the unbelievable. There are government records confirming the valley existed. Maps printed before the 1980s showed the town clearly with street names, a school, a small general store. Census reports list its population year after year, and then the trail goes cold, as if the place was quietly folded out of the country's geography. The maps were reissued, the valley wiped clean. To understand why anyone would erase an entire community, you have to look at Elias's machine, or at least what experts think it was. Decades later, two physicists who studied the archived interviews described Elias's invention as a prototype for controlled information distortion, a device that could scramble data in real time and reassemble it perfectly without loss. Something close to a theoretical breakthrough in cryptography, quantum communication, and signal processing, long before those fields even had names. If that sounds abstract, think of it this way. If you could manipulate information at its most fundamental level, you could hide anything. A message, a building, a person, even a town. No one can prove the machine ever worked. No photographs survived, no blueprints were preserved. But the timing, the disappearance of the workshop, the evacuation, the silence, suggests one of two things happened. Either Elias built something so far ahead of its time that it triggered a response the world wasn't ready for, or someone believed he did. And the strangest detail is what happened to the residents after they left. They weren't relocated together, they weren't given new homes in the same region, they weren't even told the same explanation. Families were scattered across the country. Many changed their names, and most refused for the rest of their lives to talk about the valley. Those who did kept repeating the same phrase: nothing happened, it was safer that way. There is one surviving recording of Elias himself, an audio cassette discovered in a storage locker decades later. His voice is calm, steady, almost resigned. He says only this: people think the world is made of matter, but it's made of information, and information wants to be free. I only helped it. After that, the tape clicks off. Today you can hike to where the town once stood. It's just open land now. No ruins, no foundations, no trace that hundreds of lives once intersected here, except an odd stillness in the air, as if something is waiting to be remembered. Maybe the machine never existed. Maybe it was destroyed. Or maybe it's still out there, humming quietly, doing exactly what Elias said it could, unmaking and remaking the truth until the line between what happened and what we're allowed to